My name is Natasha Durda, and it is an honor and privilege to serve as a principal here at South Fayette High School. I have told a few of you on the walk in this morning, good morning, because we started, I know that it's evening, but we started our day with your 8th grade students at the middle school. So today has felt like one big, large event of celebrating and getting prepared for the scheduling season that's about to kick off this coming Monday. So for our 8th grade students and families that are joining us here this evening, myself, our high school administrative team, and our school counselors were able to start our morning together, visiting with all of the 3 8th grade teams to talk about the scheduling process, to talk about important information about the courses and experiences that we offer here at the high school. For our upperclassmen that are joining us, thank you so much for being here. You have an inside view of what it means to be a South Fayette High School Lion. So I am going to ask our student leaders, after we kick off scheduling information, for our student leaders to stand up, because they are going to be leading and running a multitude of different breakout sessions, from AP curriculum sessions to a fabrication lab that focuses on design thinking, engineering, building, creating, to an innovative cavern space on virtual reality that's in our library. We have military reps that are out in the theater lobby. We have a Parkway West CTC Career and Technical Center staff member that's here this evening. And we are very, very excited to have the opportunity to share with you a lot of information about South Fayette High School and to help you get prepared for the scheduling season that's about to kick off. We are recording this session this evening, the scheduling session that will be here in the theater until 7:15. And we are also recording the AP curriculum session. We have 2 breakout sessions following this whole group scheduling session. So we will be video recording and emailing out the slide deck, in addition to a lot of other information regarding the program of studies, courses that we offer, scheduling timeline, math acceleration information. But we are encouraging all of you, if and when you have questions, to please reach out to your child's school counselor, their teacher, one of the principals. We want you to know that you are not alone throughout this journey as you are preparing for next school year. At the high school, we root everything that we do, every decision that we make, every course that we offer, every club extracurricular that we have is rooted deeply in ensuring that each one of our high school students has a safe, supportive, and incredible environment and experience here at our high school. So this morning when we talked with our 8th graders, they're still in middle school. They are excitedly getting prepared to be a high school student. And we talked about the picture in the top center of the slide, because we've had the opportunity to work with our now seniors as they are 3 months away from one of the biggest transitions of their lives. So we know that the transition for the 8th graders, the middle schoolers, as they're getting ready to come up to the high school, it's an exciting time, but it's also a scary time. So if you walk out of this evening's event knowing that you have a team of trusted adults, from our teachers, our school counselors, our principals, that are going to be alongside your children and you every step of the way, that's a success. Thank you for giving up your time this evening. We're excited again to share a lot of information. Natasha Durda, principal here at the high school. I'm going to now turn things over to Mrs. Tanya O'Brien. Mr. Salopek, another one of our assistant principals, is not able to be here with us this evening, but you will get to know him very well throughout your child's experience here at the high school.
Thank you, Dr. Durda. Good evening. I almost said good morning. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tanya O'Brien. I serve as one of the assistant principals here at the high school alongside Mr. Salopek. I wanted to take a minute to introduce to you our school counselors. Mr. David Hausman, he services students with the last name A through G. All of our counselors are located in our counseling office up here in the front of the building. Mrs. Angie Luzzo, students H through O. You'll have an opportunity to hear from all of them a little bit later. And then Mrs. Julie Martin, she handles students with the last names P through Z, so everything is divided by alphabet. And then we have our college and career counselor and social worker, Mrs. Emily Sharrow and Mr. Tanner Jones. I wanted to just pause for a moment to talk about the 3 tenets that we have here at South Fayette High School and across our district. We are rooted in deep care and love, and those are things that we try to model and show to our students, our staff, our community members, and from that deep care and love builds into respectful and engaging school culture. We value that deeply, that every student feels valued here at South Fayette High School, that they feel seen, that they feel heard, that they feel known, and that they feel a part of something that belongs to them. We want them to feel that when they're here. And those 2 things coupled together bleed into that thread of the relentless pursuit of excellence that I think you've seen in your students so far, and we're excited to see in them as they come up to our building to pursue that second part of their education here in the South Fayette School District. As Dr. Durda mentioned, we have a philosophy that we believe here that every student should be taking the right course for them. We pride ourselves on not just giving a blanket of courses to students so that we just say, take these because you should. We talk to our students individually. What do you want to be? Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What makes sense to you? What are you passionate about? What do you love? What do you dislike? Where do you want to be when you leave here, and how can we best support that? So our counselors work very closely with our teachers and our students alongside us as administrators to make sure that we have every student in the right course for them as they continue their high school education. When you came in this evening, you would have seen green pamphlets. These green pamphlets almost mirror this, except you'll notice the 2 breakout sessions in the bottom right corner of both the top and the bottom, where our U.S. military and armed forces location is. We've moved them. Instead of in the fine arts classroom, we've placed them out here in the main hallway. So when you're looking at that schedule, that's one quick adjustment that we made on the fly. So our representatives from the armed forces are outside. As you can see this evening, we're here talking about the informative presentation from Dr. Durda, myself, and our counselors. Then we'll break out into breakout sessions, and there's 2 of them, as you can see the first one at the top, and then the second one at the bottom. You are able to attend both of those. We've structured them so that they mirror each other. So if you choose to go to one in the first session, you can choose something different in the second session. Over on the right-hand side, you'll notice it says SFHS Cavern. As Dr. Durda mentioned, that's a virtual reality experience, and that's located in a different section of the building.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm Angie Luzzo. I'm one of the school counselors for students' last names H through O. I'm also the AP coordinator here at the high school, so I will be leading the 2 breakout sessions later this evening. To start the night, for our scheduling information, we're going to do a quick overview of the graduation requirements. So these are all of the requirements that students will have to have earned by the end of their senior year. I spoke to the 8th graders this morning about this and said it's a lot of information. We don't expect you to remember this now. We do go over this every year that you are scheduling. And behind the scenes, the counselors, myself, Mrs. Martin, and Mr. Hausman, over the summer, we do credit trackers for every student that's on our caseload to make sure that everyone has the appropriate credits and are on track for graduation. Sometimes when a student puts their requests in, they may miss a class, so that's what we're looking at on the back end, and then filling in the schedules to make sure that they have all of their credits that they need. So we're going to go through these. When I talk about 1 credit versus half credit, 0.5 credit, 1 credit courses are classes that are offered all year here at the high school. So all of our core classes are 1 credit. They run the entire school year. Half credit classes are semester-long classes, so they will run from the beginning of the year until January, or January until the end of the year. So as you can see, students, by the time that they graduate, they will have 4 credits of English, 4 credits of social studies. They will take 1 credit of English and 1 credit of social studies each year that they're here in the high school. 3 credits of science, that includes biology and chemistry. All ninth graders will schedule for biology, and then 10th grade is the chemistry course. In 11th grade, it really opens up. We have a longer list of science classes that students can take starting in 11th grade. They can also start doubling up in sciences starting in 11th grade, which Mrs. Martin will cover. But those are the three, you need 3 science credits by the end of the year minimum, or by the end of senior year. And then 3 credits in math, so that would be 1 for 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. And then students are encouraged to take a math class their senior year as well. It's 1 to 2 credits of a foreign language. Students must complete through level 2 of a foreign language. So if your student is coming into the high school next year and they are scheduled for Spanish or German or French 1, then they will have to take the next level the following year to meet that level 2 requirement. If they come to 9th grade and are recommended to go into the 2nd level of a foreign language, then technically they can be done and they've met that requirement, but we do encourage students to continue on, especially for post-secondary placements. 1 credit in phys ed and health. Our phys ed classes are all half credit, and health is a half credit, which is taken in 10th grade. So a combined 1 credit for that. Half a credit of Future Ready by Design. If you have older children here at the high school currently or previously, we had the class presentation applications. This is brand new. Our 8th grade students will be the first class to have this course available to them. It is a half credit required elective, so all 9th graders will schedule that. It covers everything from AI, presentation applications, design thinking, data. It's a whole slew of things. So we're really excited to bring that onto the high school. We think it will be really beneficial for students. 10th grade students will take a half credit of data management with Excel, and then in 11th grade it will be college and career. Those are the 3 required electives that students take with us. And then they will fill in the rest of their credits with electives or extra social studies classes, science classes, math classes, to get to their total credits that they need for graduation. And then every senior will do the senior exit interview. It's a quarter credit, and that is 1 day in late March, early April. No students are here in the building, but the seniors are scheduled a time to come in, and they sit on a panel of 3 teachers that throughout the district, and we interview them. They bring a project that has meant something to them their 4 years here at South Fayette, and then they get a half or a quarter credit for that. So a 24 credit minimum is required for graduation. Obviously, you know, if a student is earning 7 credits every year, they'll graduate with more, but 24 total credits are required for graduation. Okay, Mrs. Martin is going to go through the courses that all 9th graders will take and kind of what that looks like.
Good evening, everyone. As Mrs. Lutzo said, thank you for coming out. I know it's very cold and it's dark and it's the middle of the winter, but I do think it's really important information to hear. And I do want to welcome all the incoming freshmen to the high school and parents as well. Maybe this is your first child in high school, maybe it's your 4th, but regardless, it is very important information as every child's different. So, Mrs. Lutzo went over the overview of all of the graduation requirements, and we do meet with every grade level. So this is specific right now to 9th graders. We met yesterday with all of the 10th graders to go over 10th grade requirements, 11th graders, and 12th graders, so that they have that information. So please don't feel you have to memorize all this or know this. We, revisit this every year this time with our students. So, to begin at the freshman level, students have 2 options. They can take the regular, which we call regular academic of the course, or the honors level is available. When students get into their sophomore, junior, and senior years, there's also the level of advanced placement. So that's AP, which we do have a breakout session this evening about advanced placement, as well as we have some students, current students, here to talk with you about their experiences. So we have 3 grading scales at the high school. Our GPA is weighted. There's the regular academic grading scale. There is higher GPA points for the honors, and then for the AP has the highest GPA grading scale. All of our grading scales are also found in our program of studies, which will be sent out, as Dr. Gerda mentioned. There'll be a communication with all of this information for you to refer. So, getting started with English, all freshmen will take English 9 or Honors English 9, and that is a year course. Civics is the social studies requirement, and that is the study of U.S. government, specifically U.S. If students enjoy government, they can take an AP class in their junior or senior or even sophomore year, which would be studying U.S. government and comparative governments. Okay, biology is the science that all freshmen will take, and again, that's honors or academic. So the first 3 classes for all freshmen are exactly the same. Then we get to the math, and that's where it changes a little bit per student. For some students, they'll be taking Algebra 1 here at the high school as a freshman. Majority of students will be taking geometry, and then there's some students who will be taking Algebra 2. So that is something you know right now based on what class your child is in 8th grade in their math class. And then the foreign language, Mrs. Luzzo touched on this a little bit. We offer French, German, and Spanish. Most students are taking this at the middle school already and have been doing that every other day, I believe since 6th grade. So when you get to the high school, it is every single day. One thing I'm going to say, we do advise and we require 75% in your 8th grade foreign language class to be able to take level 2 as a freshman. A majority of students will take level 2 as freshmen. However, I do always want to caution some students and families that if you're struggling right now and you're earning a 75, you're right at that 75 or even a high 70, low 80, I personally think sometimes taking level 2 is a big challenge because you get here and it moves pretty quickly, and students sometimes struggle with that, and then they're not able to go on to level 3 because they don't have the required grade and they don't have the skill set. So the problem with that, it can be a problem, is if students come in and take level 2 and they're finished with level 2, they met our graduation requirement, but then they don't have 2 years of a foreign language in high school. And a lot of, many colleges and high schools recommend 2 years in high school, or some require it, some require more. If you're looking at a more competitive university, they might want 3 years in high school. So sometimes it is advised, I think the current teacher should be able to tell you and your child, you know, hey, you have a 90%, you have a 95, you're understanding this, you are getting this. Take level 2. Yes, that's great. But if you're on that in the C, low B range, I really think you should have that discussion with the teacher. And also if the student or child really, if you're struggling and you don't enjoy that, it's hard, it's going to be even harder. So if you take level 1 as a freshman, you'll get a good review, get the foundational skills. It'll be, you know, it won't be as challenging. And then you can take level 2. You'll be set up for success in level 2 as a sophomore. That gives you 2 years in high school. Then you could go on if you would like. Again, this is not me saying that this is what all students should be doing, because the majority of students are ready to go to level 2. I just feel it's important to mention that. So if you go to level 2 as a freshman, you could be finished and met our requirement, or you could continue on to level 3, which is offered at an honors level. Then we have honors level 4, and then we have AP. So it just depends on how much foreign language you want to take. All right, and then Mrs. Luzzo touched on the half-credit Future by Design that all students will take as a freshman. They'll take a phys ed class. There are different PE offerings students can choose from. And I'm going to pause here and explain the day. I explained to the freshmen, or the incoming freshmen. We have an 8-period school day. So one of the periods is lunch, and everyone has to take a lunch. It is required to eat. We do have students that want to take more classes and not have lunch. That is not, we do not allow that. All students, the most classes they can take is 7. The most credits people can earn, students can earn, is 7. So 7 is the max every year. So if you look, the first 6 for freshmen are already defined. English, civics, biology, math, foreign language, and these 2 combined make 6. So that leaves 1 space or period for electives. We do offer some electives that are a full year or a full credit. That would be band, chorus, orchestra. So there's not a lot of those, but there are some. Most electives are semesters in length, and we offer a lot of electives throughout all of the departments. So pretty much, I mean, anything and everything. If you like art, we have ceramics, we have sculpture, we have digital design, we have foundations of art. If you like business, we have business management. I mean, we just have on and on and on. STEM. So, you know, we encourage students to find and take classes of what they enjoy, what they're interested in, possibly what they might want to pursue in the future. And there will also be a list available to you in the communication from Dr. Durda with all the electives that are available. All right, so that brings me to study halls. This is something I think parents should hear. I feel, you know, I do feel study halls can be very beneficial to students. I know in elementary and intermediate school you have recess. In middle school, students have the activity period. In high school, they do not have any of those built into their day. So they have 7 periods. They do get lunch. Every period's 45 minutes, including lunch. So students can take a full year study hall if they would like all 4 years of high school. Students don't have to take a study hall at all. Some students never take one study hall. Other students take a full year every year. Other students might take a semester of a study hall 1 year, a full year the next year. It just depends. The thing about study halls, there's no grade earned, so they're GPA neutral. It can't affect your GPA. So a lot of students do prefer to take an elective because they would prefer to, well, number one, they enjoy learning and they want to take those classes because it's a class they're choosing. But also you get GPA points associated with that. Other students choose study halls because they need that time in their day based on the course load of studies they might be taking and their after-school activities. If they're involved in band, that is a lot of time. I know football is a lot of time. Some students are involved in multiple sports, whatever the case may be, work. So it's really a personal decision. We don't list study halls on transcripts. So when colleges see the transcript, we don't list that a study hall was taken. Okay, the next is important for how do you know if you will be eligible to take an honors level class in 9th grade. So if you are deciding on honors or regular, the first thing is your child has to have a 93% in the class, the 8th grade class. So for Science 8, if you want to take honors biology, you would need to have a 93. If you want to take honors English, you would need to have a 93 in your English class. So that is the required percentage to take an honors class next year as a freshman. You also need the teacher recommendation. So that's the teacher saying, yes, this is a student who works hard, they're diligent, they're organized, they have the skills and the skill set to be successful in that honors level class. Most of our honors classes have summer work assigned, and that is to prepare the student for the course in the fall. So I know most of the math classes have math work. I do know there's civics work and biology and English as well. It is expected that the student completes that over the summer. So the next thing I think that's important is, as a counselor, a lot of, even our seniors, our incoming seniors, because they get so many more choices. As you can see that the schedule, if I go back to this for grade 9, is very prescribed. There's literally, they have, 6 of 7 slots are determined. And that's the same in the 10th grade year too, because we have to meet the health requirement and Excel, and if you continue in a foreign language, your schedule is going to be very much the same. When you get to the junior and senior years, the schedule opens up a lot more for our students who are really interested in engineering or medicine or nursing or becoming a physical therapist or a physician assistant. Many students double up in sciences. We offer AP Bio, AP Chemistry, so there's a lot of options as they get older, and electives. Many students are pursuing business and want to exhaust all our business electives and offerings. So the thing is, with honors, I think a lot of students, they're confused as to, and parents are too, because if you're new to this, or maybe you're not, but how many honors classes should my child take? How many advanced placement classes should my child take? And I think that's a hard question for us as counselors because it's very personal and every child is different. So as much as I would love to say you should take all 4 honors or don't take any honors, I will just tell you, I think the things you have to have, these are the conversations you need to have. First, I think the teacher's the most important piece because they see your child every single day, and like I said, they know their work ethic, they know if they're turning things in, they know how they're doing with writing, how they take tests, how they do. The second thing you have to figure out as a parent and a family and a child is, like, how academically motivated am I? Because we're all different, and some people really are academically motivated, and they like to come to school, they like to take notes, and they like to study, and they really want to be really competitive and go to like the top types of tier colleges. So if that's the case, then you should take all honors classes. But if that's not everyone, and so it's not everyone should be taking all these honors classes. I also think you have to consider how much you have going on outside of school. Like, you need a balance. So we need to balance school, friendships, relationships, family, activities, hobbies. So that's something to think about. And then the other thing is, like, what are you naturally good at and what do you like? So for some students, math comes really easily, and you're a strong math student, and you should take the honors math class. Some students, what might take one student 20 minutes to do an assignment might take another student an hour, and that's just how it is. So I think you have to really think about those things when you're making decisions. And I also think for freshmen, it's a transition. And so you don't know what you don't know because you've never set foot in a high school classroom. And you may think you know, but until you're really here and you're experiencing it, you don't know. So I think it's very important to get a very solid GPA as a freshman, because when you're applying to college, it's based on your first 3 years. You apply at the beginning of your senior year, so your cumulative GPA is based on freshman, sophomore, junior year. So sometimes if you come in and you take too many honors and you're too overwhelmed, that's not really going to help your GPA if you really struggle. Sometimes it's better for students to come in and take all regular classes and get a solid foundation, and then they know, you know what, I can handle more, I can take more honors, or I can take 2 honors next year, or all honors. Some students choose a balance. They might take 2 honors in the courses they really like, and they're good at, and they might take 2 just regular academic classes, just to figure it out. Because it is a big transition, and I will say this, and we say it every year, grades in middle school don't translate to high school. So we have a lot of students that come to high school in the first couple weeks and they're used to getting all A's, mostly all A's, maybe a B, and they don't have to do much. And then they get to high school and that is not the case. The expectations are different. Teachers aren't always constantly reminding and asking students for things and giving study guides. So it's a lot more onus on the student. And that's a big, it's a reality check for a lot of students. So you what was working for you in middle school might not work in high school. You may have to adjust and realize, I need to start reviewing my notes every night. I need to start studying a couple nights before a test. I need to go see the teacher if I need help with questions. I need to put more work in if I want the grades. So I just don't like it, and I feel I need to say it. A lot of students, when they're seniors, if they didn't take their schoolwork as seriously as freshmen, or they didn't, take as many challenging classes as they needed, they're sitting there with a GPA, and it's not getting them where they want to go. Because when you get to high school, unlike middle school, your grades start from the very beginning. So what you earn as a freshman, that's all being factored into your cumulative GPA that's reported on the transcript. I know you get a GPA in middle school, but that GPA and those grades really don't translate to anything other than taking the honors level class and letting you know how your student's doing in terms of mastering the material. So it's so hard. I have had a lot of seniors say, I can't believe, I really want to go to Penn State, and there's a required GPA, and they're not there, and they're not going to get in because you need to have the grade. So I think it's very important to really pay attention to your beginning years and getting a good foundation. Okay. I'm going to let Mr. Hausman talk about math acceleration.
Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Hausman. I am at the beginning of the alphabet, letters A through G. We are going to talk about just math acceleration here, okay? So there is an opportunity here for you guys to accelerate in math. If you would like to do that, please know that we sent out an email through Parent Square on December 17th. We also just shared another one last night. So if you did not receive that email, please reach out to us so we can get that to you. But if you want to find out more information as to what the process is, all you have to do is submit the form, then we will be in contact after you guys fill out the form. Okay, so sometimes there are situations where students might not qualify for a course. Maybe there was a personal thing that came up throughout that year. Maybe there was a medical need, something that took your focus away from school, okay? We want to give kids an opportunity and not shut doors on them. If they didn't have the course qualification at that time, and now they would like to still take the course that they did not have the grade in, we still want you to take that test, or that next course, okay? Now, something that you have to know is that we want you guys to take courses that you are going to be supported in at that next level. So, if you are a person who wants to wade into that next area, please know it is going to be at that honors or AP level. That pace is quick. So we recommend just maybe working with the teacher a little bit more, getting a tutor, speaking with your counselor, with other students about strategies on how you can do well in the course. Okay, there are consequences to this waiver process as well. If you are someone who waives, within the first 2 weeks, if you feel like I've kind of taken this class, it's more than I can handle here this year, then you can withdraw from the course, no penalty. Beyond that, there are withdrawals that will go onto your transcript, or a withdrawal fail that will go onto your transcript, okay? Something that we need everybody to know is for our grades 9 through 11, the waiver course form is due the 13th because that's when our high school students' course windows selection ends. Now for the middle school, it's different. It is the 27th because that is when your guys' course selection ends that time. If you have questions about the course waiver form, please reach out to us. Please speak to us about that. Something to know, you cannot waive if you currently possess a D or F in the course, okay? You can only level up one time. You cannot make a jump to 2 levels. So if you're in regular and you want to supersede the honors and go straight to AP, that would be a situation where we will not do that through the waiver, okay? You can only go up once. Now, you cannot waive in back-to-back years. So if your freshman year you waive into math and the following year you do not earn the course qualification, that would be a situation where you do not earn that teacher recommendation and you are not qualified to do the waiver again the following year. Parkway West, we will be talking in the studio here after this. However, for scheduling purposes and logistics, our students will come to the high school in the morning. They will take 3 academic classes here at South Fayette. They will take their biology class, their math class, and their English class. They will take civics at Parkway, and then they will be bused to Parkway after their lunch. They will do their Parkway program. After that, they will be bused back here to the middle school, and then the middle school bus will take them home.
Okay, so Monday morning, scheduling opens, and your student can go on to Power School and start putting their requests in. What does that look like? How does it happen? So, students will log into Power School. They'll use their login and password. For current 8th graders, the window is February 9th to February 27th. We extended the window for the current 8th graders because the middle school counselors meet individually with every 8th grader regarding scheduling. So we need to give them some time to meet with them and allow the students then to go in and put their requests in. You'll see that the current 9th through 11th graders, their window is next week. So they have the 9th to the 13th. It's the same deadlines as the course waivers. So 9th through 11th graders currently, they have the window February 9th to the 13th. The current 8th graders, they will be able to go in and schedule from February 9th to the 27th.
Just for
point, teachers have already entered the course recommendations for students. So when you go through and look at their scheduling requests, you will see what the students are able to choose and what they're recommended for. If the student qualified for the course and they met the grade requirement and they have the teacher recommendation, it will be available for the students. Dr. Durda was mentioning, scheduling is not first come, first serve. The window is open in that amount of time, and students can go in throughout that window that they have and submit their requests. So we are not scheduling, one student may fill their request out Monday morning, the first person that we receive, the last person from 9th through 12th grade schedules the very last day, the last minute in February. It doesn't matter at what point you put your requests in, only is that you do put your requests in. The master schedule is built solely on the number of requests that we receive for each course. So that's why we've said it really is an individual decision. You really have to think about the courses that you want to take, your strengths, your weaknesses. You shouldn't be picking classes based on, my friend and I want to take wellness through movement, because we run several sections of that, and it's, you may not get the course together. So that's why it's so important to put your requests in the window. That way, Dr. Durda receives all those requests. When February 27th rolls around, we close the window, and then she can start building the master schedule from there. Okay, so on Monday, the window opens up. And again, it might be hard to see, but everyone will receive these slides. So all students will log into PowerSchool, and then on the left-hand side, they will click the class registration link. Once they click that, the picture in the background, it has this is a 12th grade example, Social Studies 12, Science 12, there's an English on there. It will have all of your core classes, your electives, and then study halls. Once you click the pencil that's on the right-hand side next to where it says Social Studies, that blue arrow, that front box will open up. That's where you'll see the classes that you were recommended for and that you're able to select. So you'll click the green check mark for the class that you want to be enrolled in, and then press OK. You'll go through, this is what your screen will look like once you've selected all of your classes. The little boxes will appear to let you see all of your core classes, all of your electives, study hall if you chose that. The green check boxes should all be available for you to see. And then down at the bottom it says requires between 6.25 and 7 credits. For our 8th graders here, like Mrs. Martin said, you can take a half credit semester study hall. So you would have 6.5 out of 7 credits. If you choose to take no study halls and you fill your schedule, then you would have 7 credits there. Once you have all green check marks, you'll be able to press submit and your requests have been entered. Like I said, throughout that window for the 9th through 11th and then the 8th graders, if you change your mind on a course, if you've signed up for honor civics but you've did some reflection and you only want to take regular, or you want to choose a different elective, you can go back in and select a different course. Make sure you press submit again, and then the updated request will be sent to us. Yep, and Mrs. Martin is next.
One last thing, because we're going to move on to the panels. If the student doesn't have the grade requirement right now, at the end of the school year, if they don't have the 93 at this moment, but they get the 93, they will then be able, the teacher will update the recommendation and they would be eligible to take the honors course. They'll notify the counselor and we'll schedule them for the class. If they want to take it, it would be on the student to let the 8th grade counselors know. Also, if the student loses the grade by the end of the year, same thing is they lose the class. So if they schedule honors biology and then they don't have the grade in June, the middle school communicates with the high school, and then we would schedule the student for their regular class. And the other thing I want to say, last advice, the waivers, the deadline is February 27th. There aren't waivers available in May and June. This is the only time to do a waiver. So if you do not qualify for a class right now and you absolutely want to take it, you need to sign the waiver and do that. Let's go.
Okay, we did also link in the clubs and activities that we offer here at the high school. When you receive the slide deck, this is hyperlinked in, and it will take you directly to our South Fayette High School website that has a calendar of every club activity, when they meet. So as your students are transitioning to the high school, or for upperclassmen, additional ways to get involved in our school culture and school climate. New this year, we have implemented once a week on Wednesday, a 46-minute flex period opportunity for all of our students. It's an opportunity for students to make up missing tests, to get academic help and support in math, English, science, social studies, world language, fine arts, and also just to continue to get involved in our high school community. So that is something that we wanted to emphasize and stress because it was new this year and will continue into next school year. Last but not least, we do have a closed chatbot resource that has been created that is not open to the entire internet. It only pulls in South Fayette specific resources. Our approved program of studies, which lists every course that we offer at high school. It has Parkway West Career and Technical Centers programs. It incorporates RIASEC. All of the students that are in the space should be familiar with the RIASEC codes, in addition to the Portrait of a Lion Learner and the clubs and activities. So we highly encourage for you as a family with your students to explore this closed chatbot resource, ask it questions. Our upperclassmen were playing around with it this week. You're interested in business and you want to work with others, but you also have a passion about athletics. Put it in the chatbot, it will provide some recommendations for you. Slides will be shared out. A few just quick reminders as we break out into the breakout sessions. We are going to take a 5-minute break at 7:15 right now. The first breakout sessions will begin at 7:20 p.m. We have restrooms that are straight out through the theater doors, go through the doorway and on the right-hand side. We have refreshments out in the theater lobby. The first breakout sessions, we have an AP curriculum session that will be held here in the theater. If you go out in the hallway to the high school studio, we have staff members that will help direct. We have Parkway West CTC reps. Can my Parkway West student reps please stand up? So we have 3 student leaders that are joining us that are involved in 3 different programs over at Parkway West. I was just actually at Parkway yesterday for National Honor Society, recognizing some of our students, so thank you guys for being here this evening. We have 2 students, seniors, that are looking to go into the fields of civil engineering and mechanical engineering that will be leading our fabrication lab space. Can you 2 stand up for me, please? And thank you. So 2 senior students that are both going into 2 different fields of engineering, civil and mechanical, that are leaders down in our fabrication lab. They're going to be with Dr. Callison, our Director of Innovation and Strategic Partnerships. Our Cavern Space, which is a virtual reality experience. It's one of 2 in the world. Carnegie Mellon University has one, and South Fayette High School has one. Mrs. Stacy Barth, who's one of our business teachers, she's our esports coach. Highly engaged in our school community. Mrs. Barth will be in the library for anybody that wants to see the Cavern 270-degree virtual reality space. And then we have military reps from all branches that are out in the theater lobby as well to help and answer any questions that you guys may have. Thank you for joining us here this evening. Again, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Programs are out front. Help yourself with some food, and we will get started with the first breakout session at 7:20. Thank you all for joining us this evening.